Salute, salute, welcome. This is PR 61 Minute Podcast. I am your host. Please respect the host. Please respect the host. Today's topic is going to be the part 2 of the connection between Tupac and the connection with the Apache Indians. Now, if you saw the first video, crazy video, it's just touching on the fact how Tupac was letting us know who he was, who he despised, his alliance to his people. You know, by him picking the name Tupac, he aligned in himself with people that despised the true conquerors of North and South America. Because a lot of people, and especially a lot of YouTubers, they want to tie in the fact that England is the one that owes the United States in the Aboriginal, the land and everything they took. When in reality, the queen whatever her name is from England and her kids and Prince Charles, these are little kids compared to the real villains, real people that done conquer our people and has put us down. When I say our people, I mean the brothers in the North, the brothers in the Caribbean, and the Aboriginal peoples in the South. These are the people. Like, if you really look at the map, who really are the true, who really holds the power? Because if you look at England and what they have conquest and what they have took over, you would say from all the way down from New York or New Hampshire or anything up there, or Maine, all the way down to probably Washington DC or something like that. Because everything else, North Carolina, South Carolina, just by the pronunciation of these names, you would say that they're not from England territory. That's probably French and Spanish. If you look at the Spanish territory at that time and this time, you will honestly see and you will understand what Tupac understood, that the simple fact that the real problem is the Spaniel royal family. It's not Queen Elizabeth. These people don't control nothing. If you look at it from a bird's eye view, who has conquered more land and it's owed more money to the Aboriginals of the land? Let's take a look at. You could say that the whole South America, all the way down from Mexico, all the way down, is conquered by the Spaniards. French only has like a little bit, like little drops here and there with Trinidad, Haiti, and Haiti already broke off from them. So who is really the ones that's really conquering everything? And this is why Tupac picked two names. The two names that despised the Spanish government and whatever they stood for was Tupac, the native leader of Peru, and Machiavelli, Niccolò Machiavelli, somebody the Italian leader who despised the government from Rome all the way down to remember, the Spanish government at one time during 1492 and beyond ran everything. I don't care what they tell you in school, that England this and England that, or French this, French that. The French are masterful when it comes to war tactics. But when it comes to overall power, it had to go through the Spanish. Because the Spanish, if you look at it, it's just Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, from, like I said, from all the way down, all the way up from Dakota, New Mexico, all the way down to South America. That's power. That's who pretty much has put us in a predicament. And how did they did that? Let me explain. in 1492, there were two things that happened that history, because it's his story, when I tell you, it's the fact that, yes, Columbus did embark out of Italy, right? But Columbus he wasn't like the best merchant in the world. He wasn't that. He took on the task of transporting probably one of the biggest at the time, the biggest human trafficking in the world at the time, which was taking everybody. Even Christopher Columbus has tied to there's more research to do, but the things that I have follow up, that he did came from a Jewish dominated area in Italy. So for him not to put that together, he could have been Jewish. But at that time, Jewish people were being prosecuted for not bending the knee to Queen Elizabeth. So Queen Elizabeth gathered all them together because she couldn't trust them. Gathered them together in 1490, throughout 1490 all the way to 1492, was shipping them off with merchants. This is why the travels took 40 years. 40 years. Now, if you will walk from Egypt to Israel, it's not going to take you 40 years. But if you take thousands of people and travel from one side of the world to the other, you will have to understand, if you travel from North Dakota or from one side of Texas to the other, how many times you going to stop on the road to get something to eat, use the bathroom? People are sick. When at the time, somebody gets sick, everybody's sick. These people will have to stop, and this is why Christopher Columbus, when he saw the Native Americans of North America, it reminded him of the Indians in India. But the thing is that the Aboriginal people from North America already have traveled over there. So their customs and everything went with them. The feather look, the bow and arrow, how Genghis Khan and his soldiers were masterful at the horse, from a horse, throwing arrow from horses. But this is what they leave out, y'all. This is what they leave out. The fact that the origin of the horse is from North America. So while everybody was out there in the field and they was throwing arrows at each other, walking and running, North American people already been in horses, revolutionizing traveling. That's how they got from point A to point Z all the way over there. Because there's no way you would have been able to walk. But if you in horses, that's why this is why you have what's the brother's name, Cooper, and he had that beware the pale horse. That's what the connection is. But things go over your head. That the horse is the ultimate clue to letting you know that somebody done stole your riches. The fact that the horse origin is here. And the fact, look, I've read also comments as far as what I said before about the panther, how the panther is also an inhabitant of some parts of Kenya, some parts of Indonesia. Yeah, because of the simple fact that these animals, these rare animals that was rare in that side of the world, were also being trafficked also. To just show the queen different things, what they come. They don't want to go back empty-handed. Everything is just coming together. And thanks to the great Tupac Amaru Shakur, I'm able to just visualize and understand that the people that really took our tongue, the people that really took our heritage, and the people that should be blamed for this is the Spaniel government and the infiltrators, they came in and they claimed that they were the aboriginal people of this land. And also, can't forget about the thousands of people, Jewish people, they got kicked out of Spain, and all of a sudden in 1492, the same year Christopher Columbus departed from Italy to go to China, supposedly, but he took the same merchant route that Marco Polo took. The same merchant route. See, because what they want to do is tell you that Christopher Columbus came from Spain and crossed the Atlantic Ocean. That's BS. Because if you speak anybody who has any experience on the sea, the most roughest sea is the Atlantic Ocean. The Pacific is the perfect ocean to travel on, because it has air pockets that create some sort of highway, so that's how they was able to get from Asia to Peru in the Pacific side of South America. That's how they was able to get through ships. Now, before then, there was actually horse carriages and travels and migrations from North America all the way down to Russia, coming down all the way down to India and everywhere else. That's how North America, the Aboriginal people, introduced to that side of the world, introduced them to the horse. That's how they got introduced to the horse. The horse origin is here. So that everything originated from here and went out there. And for some reason, it's like we are in a coma. In a coma state. This is why he had the chain on. This is why he had the same similar chain that the Tupac Peruvian leader had on. This is huge. The simple fact that if you go back to the video on part 1, you will see Tupac kind of like doing the whole spiritual fire dance around this video, which is called Main Niggas. If you see the video, you will see that Tupac and everybody is in a circle. And it's like they're talking to, and the camera is just, it's like you know how the Indians would light up a fire and they would just start, talking and dancing. It's the same thing. See, this is the ancestors coming out and just speaking. That's what's going on in the world right now. And we have to understand what were the messages. I mean, look, I seen pictures of Afeni Shakur with jewelry that resembles Native Americans. If you look at it, I mean, there's so much to really think about. Now, I'm gonna drop some bars right now, and I'm gonna let it go, and I'm gonna start doing part 3. But the reason why Tupac had to, man, I ain't even gonna say that. Part 3. Salute. PR 61-minute podcast, where the truth, where revolution thinking is being birthed at here. We know the infiltrators, where did they come from? And how did it start? Man, rest in peace, Tupac, man. Salute.